What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. It's been a good minute, I think, that I haven't done a video. So I had a couple people inbox me like, hey, are you good? But no, we are doing well, guys. It has just been a really crazy couple of days, very busy after the rain, of course. And then, of course, I tend to just take break from YouTube, you know, and I hope a lot of you guys can understand. Like I tell a lot of people, life is not all about YouTube for me, really. YouTube, I do it because I love it. I love showcasing a little bit of what I do daily. I know my channel is not the greatest, but I try to provide just bits of tips and tricks that I honestly feel that it's beneficial in the real world, right? And I understand that my channel may not be like cinematic and all that, right? So sometimes I just say, hey, not today, right? But anyways, for those who are concerned, I am alive and I am doing well. But today's video, guys, this video is really about a scenario that happened just a couple of days ago, and I was literally going to be recording on that day, but I decided not to really just record. I don't like to just record because of an emotion or anything like that, right? But you're about to see a picture that I'm about to post up here next, and this video is for maybe those who are starting doing interior details, or maybe you've never done a interior detail and you run into this scenario. This was like a 2006 Toyota Land Cruiser. To be honest, the vehicle wasn't in bad shape, very well maintained. The leather had seen better days, right? And probably as the video transpires, I'll be posting just bits and pieces of pictures. I didn't take no video on this, but in this first picture you're gonna see is a stained area, right? And if you're new to detailing, if you're new to the extraction process, if you've never done anything like this, right, don't ever say, yes, I can remove that, because you're gonna be running into a big issue. And long story short, right, I did look at the stain, and obviously I went over it with the customer, and I was like, hey, just so you know, this area right here, this stain isn't gonna go out. I've been doing interiors for so long, guys, so the knowledge is already there. It's not my first rodeo when it comes to extractions, right? So I looked at this stain and I had told the customer, hey, this isn't gonna come off, right? And the customer was like, it'll come off. And in my head, I'm like, no, it's not gonna come off, right? But the customer was very let's just say the customer was very sure that this stain was gonna come off. But in my head, I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it, right? And long story short, I was doing the extraction, and guess what? The stain didn't come off. The stain was still there. All it did really, obviously for those who follow me, I use Flex Citrus. I use Flex Fire on this as well, so it could be a little bit more stronger, like a stronger kick to the fibers. And it didn't do anything other than I did remove some dye. It removed a lot of the staining, like it had color in there, so I was able to remove that, but the stain was still there, right? So the point of this video is never, sometimes I was really like this close to telling the customer, hey, you know what? When you feel that the customer is like not trying to not trying to fight your education or trying to fight your knowledge of truly what you're doing, sometimes it's really better to just tell the customer, hey, just so you know, this isn't gonna come off. I kind of feel like you think it's gonna come off, and I'd rather not even do the vehicle because I don't want you to think that I didn't do my job, right? So sometimes there's a borderline between our customers always right. Many will say, yes, a customer is always right. But in my opinion, if you know your stuff, if you know exactly what you're doing, sometimes it's better to let the customer know that, hey, you're probably not right, sir. And sometimes it's better to just say, hey, you know what? I'd rather not do the vehicle because I feel uncertain that when I finish this, you're going to be a little bit probably upset. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be satisfied because what you thought was going to come off didn't come off, right? So that's truly the point of this video, is don't always, don't guarantee anything, especially on interiors, and if it's a vehicle that hasn't been maintained in years, right? And secondly, you know when to say no, know when to kind of back off and say, maybe this isn't the customer for me, right? I'd rather lose money on that day than make money and then the customer kind of be upset and not be happy because you didn't perform how they think you should have, right? Because at the end of the day, we perform a service, we know the knowledge, we know how to work an area. I've never had an issue when it comes to stain removals. But if you're ever dealing with like if a wine spilled, if a strawberry drink spilled, or if a, what else? Anything that's color, mustard, an orange drink, like Sunkiss, anything in those types of colors, just know that that is not going to come out unless they literally extracted the minute that's spilled, and they can remove it. You're good. But if that stain has been there for, this was what, a 15-year-old car, it ain't going away. It's more of a permanent stain. So always educate your customers and just say, hey, just know that when I finish extracting this carpet, the stain is going to be there, but I did clean it, right? And I always take videos of the extraction, and there was literally nothing but clear water coming out, but you could see the stain. But always know how to kind of educate the customers. Don't fight them, but just tell them, hey, I've been doing this for so long and never had an issue, right? And educate them of, that you're going to provide the service, and if it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off, right? But I always tell the customers, we're dealing with time, right? If they've never maintained this carpet or anything like that, guess what? It's already permanent, right? So I hope this video kind of helped you guys out a little bit on on educating your customers, right? Or if you ever run into this scenario, don't say, yeah, I'm gonna get this stain out, because guess what? That stain probably isn't going to come out. When it comes to rust stains, just oil stains, stains that have been sitting on the seats, on the carpets especially, for so long, trust me, it's probably not gonna come off. If they're like, I haven't detailed my car in like 6 years, guess what? All those stains are already just set in stone into those fibers. They ain't moving, right? Unless you dye it, right? But anyways, again, thank you so much for your support. Sorry it took me so long to do a video. This one here, I was actually it's been a good couple of days. I've been thinking about making this video. I just didn't know how to do it. But hopefully, you guys kind of got a little bit of feedback, a little bit of info on if you ever run into this issue, kind of like what I had. The vehicle came out great. As you guys saw in the pictures, the final outcome, the leather was really deteriorated. And you have to be very cautious when working with a 15-year-old car. Everything is run down already. Everything is already kind of wear and tear, deteriorated. So don't do a lot of force on the interior, because you're just going to be deteriorating. You're going to be creating like a reaction, like the leather could start peeling off, right? So just be very cautious. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining this video. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.